Right, you're welcome. Today the papers, they're more.
We're ending the week with more papers.
Plenty of them.
More vim.
Indeed. Mama Busy, how you doing?
I am okay.
Yeah, you look relieved, kind of. What did you do? Because I love that breath, just...
When you say, what did you do? What do you do to relieve yourself?
Okay, so your
Maybe
parents...
you took some chill drink this morning before
Mama,
coming.
it's nice to see you. This man will lead us astray.
I am
happy.
happy I'm alive. Like, I'm happy I have a voice. You know how it is as parents when your child is not well.
Wow.
Like, overnight, that kind of thing. I went through it.
We've all been through those situations.
Exactly.
You get worried.
It's not easy.
I think that it's because of the proximity or the closeness you have with the child. So, kind of...
I don't think so. I mean, your child is your child.
Yeah.
If your child is not well.
Trust me, there are parents who are not as close touched.
Yeah.
When
they see it as a normal patient or family person who is not well.
Yeah, I mean, imagine it, a father who lives, in some other city to their children, Yeah, you hear about it after it's happened.
I think maybe then it's a mother's thing then.
No. No, Mama B, it's not. A child's hand was cut off in the central region by a stepmother.
True.
And we still haven't seen his mother.
Yeah.
So no, it's not a mother thing.
Yeah.
But it's great to see you. Great to see you. I'm happy
Have
to
you
hear.
been paid?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Oh,
Have
please
you
do
guys
check. Yeah. Today's first match, y'all.
Depends on which of the banks.
Don't talk like you're still in February. You know?
Today's first match.
Yes.
Yesterday was 29.
Where have you been?
It's 29 days.
If you were born on the 29th, well, then you don't have a birthday this year.
You could manage maybe a minute after midnight.
Okay, we'll give you a minute silence.
To mark your birthday, 29th of February bones. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
We love you.
I am
Happy birthday
sorry.
to you in
Roland,
vacuum.
let's do the newspapers.
Well,
Let's
today-
do the newspaper.
I'll say
Yes.
things that...
Today's
but Joe Metal is on our show today.
Yeah.
Joe Metal is not just coming to sit here and do an interview. He's leading us in worship. Yeah.
We need it as a country.
Today's the
Lots of things are
first day of
happening around.
March.
Yeah.
We're done with January, February already. What did you say?
So we're going viral, leaking Joe Metal this morning.
I thought you said a lot of things are happening in our country. Like, I don't
And
know.
you can get the transcripts of Joe Metal later.
Yeah.
And listen, the Joe Metal, it's all about you. So you can come through with whatever songs you want to hear him play. It's a whole band live in studio this morning. So you're welcome to tell us what you want to see on the playlists.
It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. Also, we've got a rather special report about how the Ghana Library Authority is using basketball to attract young people in Jamestown to reading. Our colleague Jeremy put it together, and you're going to love it. Stay tuned for that.
And then we'll talk about the Commission of Inquiry, right? Today they're not sitting, they're back on Monday, but oh gosh.
Is it just me? I've noticed that their sittings are just fine between now these days. Is it because they don't have a lot of people to appear?
I don't know. Maybe they've worked out some sort of timetable, and it allows them to take these breaks. These are career people. They're not necessarily sitting at home doing nothing.
And it's a volunteer work, right?
Yes, indeed. So there might be a need for some flexibility around their calendars. There will probably be some things they simply cannot avoid, and for that reason they have to schedule their hearings accordingly. So,
I agree.
Yeah, but they're back on Monday, right?
Yeah,
And,
yes, they are.
But today we're going to take our time, and look at what they've done
this week.
so far. A lot has happened, a lot. You're right about that. So, shall we look in the papers?
Yes, we shall.
Yes. It's Friday, I've got that Friday feeling. I don't know about you guys, but...
well, like there's some party somewhere, like some money is going to flow.
Today I thought that maybe some of us won't appear. At least won't come to work.
Why?
Maybe we'll be reshuffled, reassigned, something like that.
To the office of the news editor.
Yeah, that one.
I can tell you.
The news editor
Let's
who has
do the
been assigned to
newspapers.
the
You
office
guys
of the
are
senior
mean.
news editor.
I can tell
imagine.
you one thing though. I could do with a deputy.
That would be a deputy.
I know, right?
All right, then let's have a look through the papers. And here we go. The Ghanaian Times has these. President reshuffles ministers, appoints ministers for 6 new regions. Police unaware of operation by national security operatives at Ayawaso, West Wuogon. That's the police director of operations, making it categorical. Kaneshi first light to be closed to traffic from the 2nd of March. This is for some some sanitation works, drainage works. Ghana marks 72nd anniversary of the 28th February Christiansburg Crossroads shooting. That's all on the front page. Back page has these. Kanishi first light to be closed to traffic from the 2nd of March. Oh, I mentioned that earlier. And Yana Mahama installs Paramount Chief of Savelugu. Here's what it looks like. When you see it on the stands, it'll be a little bit like this. There you go.
Okay.
The Daily Graphic, front page of the Graphic today. Ministerial changes. Barbara Otinjesi promoted. Guess what? Catherine Apeko moves to presidency. But when you hear somebody has been promoted, the other one, okay, so.
But is it a demotion?
Well, I don't know. It's the paper that shows promoted. So I was expecting the other
to be
promoted.
Also promoted.
I don't know if you
she's
replace.
moved.
If you've been replaced, and they say the person who replaced you has been promoted,
then you have been demoted.
Then
is that what you're saying?
I'm not. I'm just saying that I was expecting.
You're trying to play a neutral.
Some Perth women are beautiful, by the way. They're on the front page of the Daily Graphic News.
So perhaps she's simply been moved.
Yeah,
to
she
another.
has been moved.
So she's now a Minister of State at the presidency, assigned to the office of the senior minister. This is new.
Fantastic. What I want to see is her job description, exactly what she will be doing.
I
think we do agree that the senior minister does a lot of things in government. Many of
do we agree?
I think.
Can I just say that is really none of my business? Like, I want to know what she'll be doing in the senior minister's office.
Okay, I get your point.
Will she be like a deputy senior minister?
That's what I
Since we are told that the Minister of State at the presidency, who is in charge
the
of
senior minister.
the
So
minister.
listen, when they take people off, why don't they just, you've taken them off, why don't you just take them off? Do you have to reassign them, like put them somewhere else?
So
you mean they should no more be ministers? That is if you have nothing for them.
I'm just saying.
Why are you assuming the president wants to take her off? Maybe she is needed in the office of the senior minister.
Anyway.
Maybe there is some work there that is in urgent need of her skills. And the senior minister needs a minister of state.
I tell you what, she's
designated,
a member of parliament. You know how she's a member of parliament. So if there's, okay, well, let me not go there. Yeah, continue.
No, go on.
No, it's fine. That's fine. So, I'm just saying that she has a lot on her plates already. So if you're yanking her off tourism, by the way, I thought she was doing a lot of things in the creative arts industry. Or it's just
it seems we are all assuming that
because she was in the news often, and
I think we are all assuming that she has been moved because she
underperformed.
Yeah, why are we making that assumption?
Is that the assumption we're making?
Well, if you raise her track record
okay.
Okay, let's do the Daily Graphic.
Oh, let's finish off with the headline. Sorry.
Can I just finish that sentence I started
please do.
earlier?
Please
I'm trying to get your
All right.
your sentence.
So what I was saying was that we were told that the Minister of State at the presidency in charge of national security serves as some kind of deputy to the Minister for National Security. That's what we're told at the commission.
So which of them is it, the Brian or it's the Kandapa?
Albert Kandapa is the Minister for National Security.
Okay.
Brian Achampong is the Minister of State at the Office of the President
in charge of
National Security. And we were told by Mr. Kandapa that Mr. Brian Achampong is some manner of deputy to him. So by that logic, we can now assume that the Minister for Tourism, former Minister of Tourism, who is now a Minister of State at the Office of the President, assigned to the office of the senior minister, is now some sort of deputy senior minister, right?
That makes logical. I mean, it's logic, right?
Yeah.
I buy into that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. In the absence of anything else,
Me, the story I want us to talk about is...
No, I'm not done.
I'm not saying we should start now. I'm just saying that the story I would like us to discuss later is about the 6 regions and their ministers.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
Let's get on with the headlines.
So this one is just... this one just passed through. Like, this one just passed through into the senior minister's office, so we'll leave it here. Let's go back to the front page. Test flights of drones for medical supplies to begin. Political vigilantism can plunge Ghana into anarchy, according to Chief Superintendent Kwesi Ofori, who appeared yesterday before the Commission of Inquiry. Back page of the graphic, Tiger IPI releases latest documentary on galamsey fraud. Government to act appropriately. There was a press briefing yesterday. Centre spread EU grants Ghana 40 million euros under economic partnership agreement. And then Ghana commemorates 28th February Christianburg Crossroads shooting. That's in the center spread of the Daily Graphic newspaper. You don't want to know what I almost said. All right.
Close looks. You this your Usa by just saying him. You're taking it seriously.
No, that's from across. So it's not from where you're thinking.
Where am I thinking?
I'm not saying me. Hey!
I'm not thinking anything, please.
I don't want trouble.
I might be going there this weekend.
Achim across.
Across.
You know.
Across.
Bro.
Right, dispatch. The Daily Dispatch has on the, that's how it looks like. Quickly, before we that's right. So please try and chew all the headlines. I'm coming to read them. An important message from Standard Chartered Bank is on page 11. We also have Daily Dispatch vindicated again. Ministers increase from 111 to 100 and I believe it's 124, but it's 123. Our February 14th story, and it says ministers will be sacked to avoid an increase from 111 to 123. Okay, so that's why I'll show it again. Okay, so apparently on February 14th, they said ministers will be sacked to avoid an increase from 111
It was
to
a question. It was a question.
This one they've not been. Have some been removed at all? Like not given any positions?
Please, I don't know.
Okay. So we have a number of them.
Yeah, I think the Western Regional Minister, I don't know where he's been taken to.
Health has not been assigned yet.
As in the substantive Minister of Health.
Who's it free? Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is I think Mr. Jedu, one of the deputies who's been reassigned.
Yes, Western Region. Or where has it been taken to? Eastern Region?
No, to the other region that was created. Yeah.
Okay.
In the West. That's what I mean.
Right. Okay, so let me just do the Observer. I have on the front page of the Observer, Peace Council chair fires back. Ufosuampofo's insult Reverend Asante call.
But has he said it is him?
Who?
Please
No, it says it's not. Peace Council chair fires back. Akufo-Addo reshuffles ministers, names minister for 6 new regions. We're expecting Kujo and I to be appointed as one of the deputies.
It's not too late.
Etiwa queries warn encroachers to leave companies' buffer zones, and government rubbishes NDC's backing claims. VCRC Crab Committee declares Ni Kwega Kingmaker. And then we have a number of stories there on the back page, mainly sports for the Ghanaian Observer.
Let's do the finder. Shake up in government. Tests flights of medical drones begin. Well, it's like a consolidated headlines, very familiar headlines in the newspapers, at least that I am sharing. Government backs investigation into intercepted NDC meeting audio recording. That's what's on the front page of the finder this morning. Kojo will do the daily guide.
All right. Well, you know, this thing about showing you how it looks, I don't know what you get.
It's not cool.
If I don't do it, to trouble. But here you go. That's what it looks like. We can't show it for long because I have to read the headlines. Cabinet shake-up hits ministers. That's the banner headline this morning in the Daily Guide. Government denies bugging NDC office. New regions get ministers. Cassius Mining clears air. And Ufuzampofo swerves police. On the back page, some sports stories. My spirit is with the team. That's the suspended Asante Kotoko captain, Amos Frimpong. Also, KK Prepara supports Hearts Kotoko Oldies Cup. All set for Beta Malt Intako. And Bahmed motivates Kotoko. Finally, River Nile Rock Independence Day Rambo. I'm sure there are some who will understand that. It's something to do with boxing, I believe. There you go. So that's the Daily Guide. Shall I do one more?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. What else do we have today?
You know you like. Just
In the
pick and
meantime,
choose.
let me do the
All right,
Daily
okay.
Statesman. Okay, you found yourself.
Yeah,
right, go
Ofusampofo
ahead.
snubs CID over leaked tape is the banner headline in The Publisher newspaper this morning. Also, government probes Anas video and Afeku axed in government's reshuffle. NPP has not bugged NDC offices is also on the front page. I guess that's it, right?
Okay, so here's the Daily Statesman. Golden voice of Africa hails dictators. President orders mini reshuffle. Afeku reassigned. JC becomes Minister for Tourism. And then they have a picture of Eugene Ahin. They say the announcements came from Eugene Ahin, Communications Director of the President. I don't know, like, is this his reshuffle or is just the fact that he made the announcement?
I think it's just the fact that he made the announcement.
So people needed to see who made the announcement.
Well,
Okay, all right.
if you have to put up one picture to represent that entire story, it's safe to put up the picture of the person who told it
Okay.
rather than
Not the people who are being reshuffled.
which one picture would you pick out of them all?
Government slums unpatriotic. NDC and unpatriotic is in quotes. Party staining Ghana's image. Yes, so for some Ampofu leaked tape shows malicious plans. And then Baumia salutes veterans, marks 1948 shooting. So there's a picture of the vice president with a veteran, army veteran, on the front page of the Daily Statesman today.
All right, do this. The Independent, today there are so many things to talk about on a Friday, but we have JoyNews also coming up, so don't worry. We have the Independent newspaper. It says Vice President joins veterans to commemorate 28th February shooting incident, and there's more external threats ahead for CD. And this one is a BOJ report that has been cited by the Business and Financial Times, republished in the Independent, and says a number of things. It says the slowdown of the world's two biggest economies will dampen growth in emerging and developing countries, including Ghana. This is quoting the report verbatim.
I said we don't care. We just want them
they
to
say,
do something
and
about
according
the
to
city,
the
that's all.
report, the CD could depreciate to about 15% at the close of the year if we have all the problems, China, and that is.
You see the
slowdown.
thing is falling. You are going to arrest the falling this thing. So do it.
But the good thing is that if you have somebody who can remit you some dollars or pounds, you're okay. Okay, in Ghana.
Roland.
No reply.
Yes. Have you noticed a bit of a pattern of stories involving the vice president appearing on the front page of the Independent?
Yes. I guess it's because of but they're all related to the 28th February shooting, which was
I think I like that. I like the vice president.
I do too. I'm asking if you've noticed the trend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clearly, the Independent newspaper likes him too. All right then. So, weekend today maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the trend, but I just don't
Hotter
notice that the
styles
Independent does that often.
Sorry?
I said I've noticed the trend, just didn't know that the Independent seems to be.
Yeah, yesterday, I think they had a picture of the vice
Yes,
president
it was.
in London, or 2 days
Yes,
ago
yes,
maybe.
that's right.
There was also a big picture of the vice president alone in regards to some other story involving him. But I mean, this is a good thing. They are paying attention to what is happening in the office of the vice president. That's good. Weekend today has these headlines, and the big one: hottest styles of dreadlocks for black women. Yes, I definitely would not recommend dreadlocks for white women. But for black women, they appear to look quite nice.
I've seen some white women do it, and it looks nice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to every rule, there's an exception, right?
Exactly.
Danger looms over Kaswa Opekiman. Anyone?
Opekoma, okay.
No,
Aaron says
this is
Opekoma.
spelled O-P-E-I-K-I-M-A-N.
I think they made a mistake.
It's an English spelling.
No.
Since you're a local chap.
Opekuma. No, it should have been you, I think.
Oh.
Kuma. Opekuma.
Opekuma.
Okay, yo. I was going to defend it. I was going to say
Kaswa
that's an English spelling,
Opekuma.
but you
Quarry
pronounce it
lands.
locally.
NDC man swindles investors. Oh dear. GCFM assures customers of better service. That's also on the front page. And on the back, some sports stories. Song Yakuba's strike in best 5 goals in match day 3 of CAF Confederates Cup. Ghana reported to FIFA ahead of Al Hilal showdown. And referee committee wants VAR and goal line technology in the Ghana Premier League. There you are. So, shall we get into these ministers?
Yep.
Okay. So the president has appointed.
Shall we get into the ministers?
Well, not on Mama V. It's Friday.
Just quoting where you I thought I didn't hear right, so I was just.
So the president has appointed some more ministers, regional ministers, now that we have 6 new regions. So altogether, we've gone from 111 to 124. Is that correct?
23 of 24.
Well, the ones I'm seeing,
24? 23?
Yeah,
Okay,
the ones being
let's
published is
go with
23.
123 until we know any different. So I noticed that every region has been given, every new region has been given a minister and a deputy.
The new regions?
Yes,
Most of
am I
them have
right?
been giving the deputies, I don't know whether
Yeah,
all of them
I have the. Okay.
Yeah.
The Western Regional Minister has been replaced by a Deputy Aviation Minister.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. But every
But
new
that's
minister.
not a new region.
No. All the new regional ministers have been assigned deputies from the list that I saw. Okay.
That's a tradition.
Now, yes. Actually, no, it's not every single regional minister who has had a deputy in the past.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not every regional minister who has had a deputy. And there is a good reason for that, if you ask me. Mama V and Roland, regional ministers are the most useless ministers
Really?
in Ghana government.
Why'd you say that? What's the basis?
So what's their role? What's their responsibility? What do they do?
Coordination
Of what?
of the various districts, the municipal and
Roland, don't waste in this
And what
situation.
does
I want to
Minister for
understand-
Local Government do?
I want to understand
Also
where you're
coordinate.
coming from.
Coordinate what?
I want
the
to understand
various
where you're coming from.
metropolitan
Okay, so you've made my point for me.
municipal district.
Roland,
You've made my point for me.
don't be a Eugene.
In this country, we have a minister of local government
Yeah.
who is supposed to coordinate all decentralized government activity at ministerial level. So, what does the regional minister do?
Coordinate
Coordinate what?
the various metropolitan, municipal and district.
That is the job of the minister of local government.
So complementary.
Okay, wait.
So
Are
we have
you
16.
reading from
We
a
have
particular
16
place?
complementary-
Let me Google. Let me ask.
Okay, so
let
this
me
is
ask
what I
Ghana
found.
governments.
This is what I found in the Constitution. The Local Government Act 1993, Act 462 says, and in section 145 about regional ministers, it says, 1, there shall be a regional minister in every region of Ghana who shall be appointed by the president with the prior approval of parliament and who shall be a minister of state, right? Then it tells you the duties. The regional minister shall, A, represent the president in the region. I want you to think carefully
Which
about
ones are
that.
this is the regional minister?
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to think very carefully about this duty.
We are.
Representing the president in the
To
region.
coordinate.
B, be responsible for the coordination and direction of the administrative machinery in the region.
Okay.
What is the administrative machinery in the region?
I'll Google for you. Go
The
ahead.
administrative
Oh.
machinery of the region, the metropolitan, municipal and district.
That is,
assembly.
if you want to be fair and strict, that is not the administrative machinery. That is the local government machinery. Administrative machinery in the region is whatever machinery you set up at the regional minister's administration. So if there was no regional minister, there would be no administrative machinery in the region.
So that's why they're important.
No, but it's only important because you have a regional minister. If you remove the regional minister, there's no need for an administrative machinery.
No.
What is that machinery doing?
So who will send the president's messages and his edicts or policies and how they are structured?
Every single
implemented in the region.
Every single relevant state institution has regional offices. So what information can the president not get from the regions? Why must it be a minister who is giving him that information?
I think it's.
Shall I read? Have you landed? Have you landed?
The argument.
Have you
I have
landed?
a point to make. I have a point to make.
It doesn't have a point.
So bearing in mind that it is quite difficult to find some relevant role for a regional minister, which would cause government to struggle if that minister was not there. It beggars belief that the president not only appoints regional, the constitution says he should, so maybe he doesn't have a choice. He must appoint regional ministers. But why deputies? Why deputies? If one person is not capable of doing nothing, and he needs assistance in doing it,
that's your perspective. So you think they do nothing?
I think the government will function perfectly without them. Because there is somebody who is managing local government, and that person is
a new position you are stating.
I don't understand. A new position from who?
Your position. Your opinion.
Are you asking if this is the first time I'm saying it?
No.
Then what are you asking?
No, I'm asking
if someone else has said it before.
Are you not propounding this? It's.
I don't understand why it must be a new idea before it can be said.
Because this one, I don't think the president needs them there to represent him.
Okay, so you think we can function without them? You disagree?
I disagree.
Okay, I checked out administrative machinery from Google. Is it still useful?
It's useful.
They only gave me machinery. They didn't give me administrative machinery together. So if you want me to read it,
please read it.
So you want to tell us what machinery is? Oh yeah, that's why.
No, but listen, I don't know. Okay, this is the meaning. Mm-hmm. The machinery of governments, quotes, into brackets, sometimes MOG, means the interconnected structures and processes of government, such as the functions and accountability of departments in the executive branch of governments.
So what is the administrative machinery in the region? Let's take the Greater Accra region. Mm-hmm. What is the administrative machinery in the Greater Accra region?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking because, maybe Roland can help us.
Okay.
He's the one who believes
administrative machinery.
Regional ministers are useful. So yeah, maybe you can tell us.
No, but I don't think that they're useless like that.
So what do they do? What is it that useless. If you remove regional ministers?
I want to believe that from where we sit, we may not appreciate what they do. Because I haven't really asked that kind of question. Like, we just know that they're regional ministers, but in terms of exactly what they do, I'm not sure I have asked myself that. But
that's part of the problem.
No, but the fact that I do not know exactly what they do doesn't mean they do nothing.
But I
don't want to believe that they do nothing.
That's the problem. You don't want to believe it. But why must it be a matter of belief? Let's check. This is what the Constitution says their duties are. That's it. They represent.
But you think those duties are not important?
No,
or you think as a function somebody else's function?
Why must there be some minister representing the president in each region? Represent him.
Why shouldn't there be? Because isn't that decentralization? Because the president sits here in the capital in Accra at the presidency. I mean, he has lots of things doing. He cannot reach all these.
Also appointed by the president.
He cannot reach. He cannot reach all these places. He needs somebody in those places to represent him.
But
what's your difficulty with that?
My difficulty is that if you remove the minister,
the region can operate
perfectly. The government loses nothing.
So can I give him a fair? Can I give him a Mama V kind of response this morning?
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
Dear.
Can I?
Oh, yeah.
I want him to go ahead. Should I?
Yeah. Go on then. Let's have a Mama V response.
When you become the president, Mr. Kojo Yankson, you can do away with the ministers. Until then,
Mama V will say about everybody.
No, but seriously, I think for all the things we're saying, there's a certain history to it. In the pre-colonial times, we had the commissars or the commissioners, and they represented the governor from Accra, and they did the coordination for the governor, who was based in Accra. Before then, we had one in Cape
This
Coast.
is 2019. Nobody is ruling us
but history is
we're
history.
A sovereign nation. If something is not working,
otherwise we would have just bundled everything away and said we're in modernity.
This is how I wanted to conclude.
Conclude.
So
there's a certain history.
The Constitution says there must be. In fact, I think it says shall. Okay, so it looks like it's mandatory. There shall be a regional minister. Yeah. So I don't think the president has a choice. Okay, if we want to change this. Whether we should have regional ministers or not, a referendum would have to make that decision. It's not up to me and whatever I think. But the deputies, that's where
they assist the ministers.
I have some, because this is what the Constitution says about deputies, by the way. The president may, in consultation with the Minister of State for a region, and with the prior approval of Parliament, appoint for the region deputy minister or deputy ministers to perform such functions as the president may determine. So deputy ministers is optional. May. Okay, so it's optional there. But in this case, the president has exercised that option for every region. So that means
because he's the president.
The constitution
okay,
says
Mama
he
B,
can.
that is perhaps the worst reason why a president should do something. Because he's the president. It is the worst reason. If that is really the only reason why the president is doing things.
I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm not saying that's the reason.
All right. So for me, it is a conversation we must start having. That, look, the president now has 123 ministers. 123. An army of ministers. Are we getting value for all of them? Are they all necessary? Is it really the case that every one of our 16 regions requires a minister and a deputy in order for the region's administrative machinery to run? Is there a need for 2 people to represent the president in each region? Is there enough happening in each region for there to be the need for a deputy to a minister, a regional minister? Please, it's a relevant conversation. Let's have it.
Absolutely.
The president may not be able to do away with regional ministers because the constitution says they must be there. That one is a matter for, constitutional reform.
I'm thinking of a feature I can do. A day in the life of a regional minister.
It will last maybe about 3 minutes.
Oh, you never know.
Does the president need to be represented in the central region every day?
Yes.
Every single day?
Yes. The man who is going to the
And
Western region now, the deputy aviation minister, he's a personal friend. I'm just going to call him up and tell him,
what do you
I
do?
want to do like a day in your life as a regional minister.
That day he'll get busy for you, so don't worry.
What are you saying?
He'll get busy for you. You know his itinerary.
I trust him. So, Kojo, I'll do that, and then because then we can add it to the discussion.
And yes, when you bring that information, then we can look at it and see if the things he does in his day, if he's not there, nobody will do them.
Oh no, his deputy.
But even if the president is not there, somebody will.
So
do his
a
duty
day
for him.
in the life of the regional minister. That's my new feature coming up. Watch out for it. I'll start from the Western region.
We're
If
waiting for
I am bounced,
Who is this guy? What's his name again? Where is he? Mama B, let me look into
good luck
this.
searching.
What's the name of the new?
I'm not sure. Is he here?
Is that his name?
I'm not sure he's on the front page of the paper.
KOD.
Yeah.
Kwabena Ochredako.
No.
Oh, fine. No, he's not on the front page
Okay.
here. And he's your friend, eh?
Yes, he's my friend from
That's
Daddy.
That's why you want to go
Sekunde.
there. That's why you want to go there.
I want to see what he does as a minister, regional minister.
Right then. Okay. What else have we got?
The only position I didn't want maintained, or I thought should not be maintained, was the position of the Minister for Reintegration.
As in
Regional
his-
reintegration
Regional
and
reintegration.
development.
Yes,
Which
because the regions have been created. And once the regions
Have they been developed?
No,
You're
they've not
talking
been developed, but
about.
we have
So that's the-
various
that's the
ministers.
job
You're
title.
talking about Dan Kweku Botre.
Yes.
But
The
we have
job title
various
is-
ministries and regional ministers who are supposed to ensure that the development takes place. What's it going to do?
So that is not part of the duties of a regional minister to ensure development. It's not there. The constitution doesn't give him that job.
But
So
the
why do you
president-
want to give it
But
to
the
him?
president is supposed to ensure that there's better coordination of the country's development. And
Okay.
once a minister is representing the president at a region, or
I tell
in
you
a
what,
region,
this
that shouldn't-
this argument could go on for
So we
hours,
should remove
but
the
we have
one
to make
minister
way
for
yeah, because he
development
was supposed
and
to just
replace
put
him
together-
with 16 ministers
There's
and their
nothing wrong with that.
deputies.
There's nothing wrong with
You are
that.
an efficient man.
No.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
move
Okay,
on.
we don't have a lot of time. In fact, we don't have time at all. I wanted to share with you how journalists went to the police headquarters yesterday, hoping that Ofuswampo, the chairman of the NDC, was going to appear. And
Did he get the invite?
They'll get filler. I don't know. He didn't go. They said he's due
Okay.
today.
Apparently, a member of the NDC's legal team, Mr. Amaliba, went there to ascertain the veracity of the call.
Oh,
by
because
the
they didn't
police.
formally receive
I
an
don't know.
invitation.
I don't
okay.
know.
All
Yeah.
right. So that will be it. Fred
Okay.
is giving us pressure to wrap up.
So we have to wrap up, and I wrap up with this. And it's about more external threats ahead of the CD. The Bank of Ghana reports. And it says, if you look at the currency depreciation,
Stay with us. We'll bring you sports when we come back.
it doesn't look good. It may depreciate more than
is on our show
50%
today.
of the
Stay with
year.
us.
15%. 15%.